All right. So, so for today, we did end up hitting our weekly targets on QQQ, right? So we hit our weekly targets for QQQ, and that kind of like that rising channel on the weekly ended up breaking out really nicely, and we hit won that daily FEG down to 465, and the daily one I believe as well, daily inbounds to 65 as well. We pulled down, drew a little bit of liquidity right here, down to 62.50 actually. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of where we're at right now, which is why I actually ended up taking uh, those QQQ calls that expire next week. So I think this definitely could be a bit of a relief bounce right here in the 60 region. So this spot's going to be a pretty interesting spot for me. Um, and then I already went over why I ended up taking that long, but nice little fib spot right here off previous demand over here on back in June. We had, yeah, ended up hitting the weekly targets as I mentioned. Um, we did also fill that daily FEG, and then I'm probably going to be looking for a back test of 468 or 470, just to probably, fill about halfway fill of yesterday's candle there. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, about 50% retracement of yesterday's move, which would be right at 68. Um, and a little bit more of that would be up to 70. So that's what I'm going to be watching there. But yeah, I do like the spot where we're sitting at on Qs. We could maybe pull down a little bit more here, down to 460. However, my stop with that trade is probably going to be a daily close below 462 on QQQ. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye on. Now, the biggest difference for me is going to be what we have coming in from SPY here. So if we take a look at SPY, actually, similar structure overall. However, you see we actually do still have this gap to fill slightly below us on the daily. You see we did have this gap right here. And as of right now, we are using it as support. And you see from the overnight session, we did pull down a little bit more here. Sorry. Anyways, so yeah, SPY here on the daily is sitting right above this daily gap right here. So I'm interested to see if we actually are going to use this as support, and that's actually what I would like to see. I want us to use this 540 level as support, and then I want us to have a bit of a relief bounce, probably back up and retest this 543, and then I would look for a continuation and actually fill this gap down to the 36, and that would probably be end up happening maybe next week, I would say. Um, like I said, my weekly targets for the week are hit already, and it is Thursday, so I would expect us to chop here or even get a little bit of a, smaller back test of these, 543 here. And then going into next week is when we would look to have a little bit more continuation here. So overall, relatively similar. However, like I said, for me, SPY does have a little bit more room down here. So that is something I'm going to be taking into consideration there. Now let's take a look at some individuals here for this pre-market. We have a bit of a wedge kind of coming in here from Apple. And you see we did actually start at the base here before the close. So it actually looks like a bit of a flagging structure on the 15 minute almost. Bit of a bear flag structure on the 15 minute. So we are going to be opening up right in that structure still, most likely going into the open. So we definitely could see this structure actually still break down. Um, but that's I'm saying that just because if we actually end up turning the overnight session off, and we're just doing from, when we have our charts open from just the market hours, we'll still open up within this bear flag structure if we open up right at this 218. So below this 217 probably would be, potential breakout level that we could see on Apple for more downside. But in terms of the daily, we set these targets with Sunday's watch list, right? We had a target of this daily FVG, and this is another thing that I'm actually a really fan of, as we did hit my weekly targets, right? This was my weekly target here for Apple as well. We ended up getting that break out of this previous flag right here, and then last week we were looking for a back test and fill of this daily FVG, which is also the back test of this flag. So this would be a break and retest of this flagging structure. So I would definitely like to start seeing some buying stuff in here. We definitely could pull down to the overnight lows once again, down to 215, but I would expect this spot right here to hold in anticipation for earnings. I would expect us to chop within this general region up until earnings report, which is going to be next week. Yeah, next Thursday. So that is going to be interesting to see. I would like us to stay in this region until then. See, Microsoft, yeah, also nearing one of my final weekly TPs. I believe this is going to be a weekly time frame gap here, if I'm correct. Some type of gap. Maybe not. I forget. Anyways, uh, yeah, pretty much we're coming back into previous demand. Similar structure to Apple as well. Previous flag structure, I guess. What time frame did I draw this on? Anyways, yeah, previous demand test right here. We had something here. I forget exactly what it was because I drew this for a reason. So we are nearing this fill of, I guess I would assume this would be an imbalance on some type of structure here. Uh, but yeah, Microsoft did have a pretty generous move yesterday, so we have a little bit more room down, maybe about $2 more. But I would expect us to, definitely start seeing some buying here as we are coming back into previous demand, as you can see, you know, on this left-hand side here. So I like this as well. Take a look at Google. Google, I believe, did already also hit our weekly TP. Let's see. So actually, Google looks like it might have a little bit more room here. Although we are opening up. Are we opening up? Opening up at 72 pretty much. So a little bit lower, but no, actually we could still hold this spot. This would be a spot that I would watch for Google to hold here. Although we did end up getting that close below 173. So that technically would be continue to break out for more downside. However, I'm not going to be too convinced as we are still at a pretty decent spot here. This is a pretty big range overall for me, so we definitely still can continue to hold this. But if we were looking for more downside targets on Google, I would be looking for this um, daily time frame gap to fill right here. And that'll probably be as we continue to make more of a correction, potentially going into next week or even into August. But I probably would expect us to hold this 173 area. This will probably be more of a fake out candle. I would expect today to probably get bought back up and kind of stay uh, above 173. Next is going to be Nvidia here. Been watching this name for a little bit, and I believe, yeah, we did hit my weekly take profit levels, as you can see by that blue line right there. Let's take a look at the larger time frame. Once again, pretty similar structure. This would actually follow a really nice, potentially lower high, or sorry, lower low, almost structure right there. But I do like the spot that we are sitting at, this 114 level. We did get that lower close, however, I would like to see some buying step in here, and then probably the next level down is probably going to be down to 109. But my final take profits for this larger correction move is probably going to be all the way down to this 100 cycle level, which would be a fill of one, this gap, probably a weekly gap as well. Yeah, weekly imbalance gap right there. And you can see really just the reason why I like this spot so much. More so down to the higher 90s, but I do like a fill of this gap here on this 100. But that's really about it. Anyone have any questions? No, all good. All right, so we just wait for open now, and then see what we get. Yeah, so the QQQ calls. Oops. So the QQQ calls, cool. Those actually will be opening. I believe I took an entry at like 463 something, like 463.70. So those are pretty much going to be opening at a very slight green or pretty much break even for me. I do have time on those as well, but like I said, we may open really, really slight red or pretty much like break even as, we did end up losing a day of time, so theta might have kicked in a little bit, but I don't think it would take too much of a toll just yet, just because we have those until next week. Yeah, I ended up taking those right around 463.70, so we are opening up just a little bit up here, so I think those should move pretty nicely actually, those QQQ calls. Um, Depending if we get the move I'm kind of just looking for. Uh, yeah, today we need to be careful. I would expect to see more of an inside day. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we pull down just a little bit more. Um, but I'll probably be looking for longs today, most likely. But we'll see. It must be. The weather is terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it gives me something to do, as you mentioned, when you get bored. I just started though, so yeah, I actually like mine. But okay, so we are following this we have a higher low coming in here on Q's. I don't know if you see that. And same here with Apple as well. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out on that for a potential break. Am I the only one in? Let me unmute. So it looks like we are going to be opening up here above previous low of day on both QQQ and SPY, which means we are still technically holding inside day. Um, yeah, tech seems to be a bit stronger here for this open as of right now, as we are opening higher. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for what these premiums are going to be opening at on those QQQ swings. But I mean, let's see. We are also sitting above VWAP here. VWAP actually lined up really nicely with this previous low of day. So if we could look for a back test there, I may actually look to take a potential long at that spot. However, let's see. Yeah, pretty much a higher low structure on all of these names here, which is actually quite nice. About 3 minutes for this open. Yeah, I like, yeah, somewhat of a flagging structure here on SPY. Not the prettiest, but that's really about it. I don't really see flagging structure here on Qs. Alright, we have 2 minutes now. I'm gonna be keeping, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this back test here down to VWAP. If we could get a back test there, I'd probably look to take position for longs, I think. Yeah, 462.50. Apple actually is continuing to pop up here before this open. Yeah, so it looks like these queues probably will be opening up. There's a bell. All right. Let's see where these are opening at. So down a little bit, but nothing crazy here. Yeah, nothing too crazy with that. About 5% for me. Taking less than 5% down for me with those QQQ calls. So those still have time, as I mentioned. We're gonna be Apple getting a bit of a pop onto the open here. Like I said, I think if we get this back test here, I may look to take a long. Today I'm looking for more of an inside day, so we could technically take a long right here as SPY is still holding this flagging structure, and we are starting to get starting to come in some individuals. NVIDIA did get that back test of view up and previous low of day there, so we could potentially see a hold right there, but I think I do want to give this maybe this 5-minute candle close first. We're also sitting at view up here on NQ. There's that back test. Might have a potential 5-minute fib setup here as well. Yeah, slightly below us, right under previous low of day there. Yeah, NVIDIA is getting a little bit more of a breakdown here, which I'm not a fan of. Might wait on this, guys. Might get this tap into overnight lows though, so I may look to tap it there. 60.8 tap we just went into on Use. Alright, I'm trying to right there. I'm in at 54. I'm gonna end Q long at 19,154. I would want to see this overnight lows hold on QQQ, but my stop is probably just going to be a close below the 78.6 GP on a 5 minute. I'm going to give this some room to play out as well. But I would like to see this, I don't think we will, but we would like to see this close back above previous low of day. Yeah. This is also a 15-minute FVG that we did end up just filling right there as well. NVIDIA tapped into overnight lows, so I'm looking to see if that could potentially hold. Apple did close above overnight highs there. Microsoft above VWAP. I want to see us pop back above here, hopefully, but yeah, definitely be careful what this is. If we don't want to hold this, we may continue to break lower. But we are still sitting in this GP right there. Decent hold so far at this GP level. Yeah, SPY did also get that tap into previous low of day there. I do like. Like I said, we would have to hold this level right here. There we go. Starting to see some more buying come in here. Yeah, nice hold from NVIDIA right there off that overnight lows. There we go. Yeah, Apple, nice hold of VWAP so far. So we do need to get this close higher, and then we should be good to go. I would like to see a recapture of VWAP back on QQQ. If we are able to get that, that would be huge. But we am back up on this, guys. I would want to see NVIDIA wake up here after that draw. Yeah, nice hold so far of this GP. But looks like Apple is actually still continuing to sell here. Looks like we might get this close below this 5-minute GP here. We'll see though. Maybe not. Okay. Still got 30 seconds left with this close here. So I still like this as long as we hold this, guys. Yeah, my entry wasn't the best now thinking back at it, but I still don't mind the spot. There we go. There we go. Like I said, I want to see Nvidia get back above this view up level. Same here with Apple actually recapture back above that. And I want us to come back into previous day's range here. But we are up here, nearly 20 points. Just shy of 20 points, about 15 so far, depending on your guys' entry. Here we go. You guys could look to take this if you want. This is 20 points. Depending on your guys' entry, you guys could take this whenever you want. I think I'm going to be looking for a recapture back above previous low of day for me. And then I think I would want to fill this previous 5-minute imbalance that's slightly overhead. Halfway fill up to 63.20 is what I'll be looking for. There we go. Alright guys, I'm taking partials right here. Partials right there at 80. Let's see. Hold up. 90. Okay. Alright, partials at 90 right there. You guys could get all out right here. You guys could get all out. I'm actually fully out right here. I'm all out right here at 90, guys. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Great trade right there. Nice pop here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Beautiful hold of that GP. Let's go. It, yeah, if you guys made some money off that trade, feel free to post in gains and tag me. And that's really just all about trusting that setup right there. You see, we were down there quite a bit, just because my entry is honestly really bad now thinking back at it. But you got to trust the setup, right? We never got that close below that GP, so continue to hold that. Did get that pop up. Yep, yep. Filled that 5-minute FVG overhead, and then that was our target. So execute it right off that. Nice little morning trade though to start the day, so we'll take it. And it was a fib trade. This actually may still have room up here if we are able to get back above previous low of day, but only until we do, I think, as we are actually still seeing some selling coming in from individuals. Thank you. So stop loss on the QQQ calls is just going to be a daily close below 462. Like I said, this is probably going to be a swing position, so it is going to need some time for it to play out. But yeah, that'll pretty much be that with the calls. Um, and we do have, I believe, until Wednesday. Yeah, we have until next Wednesday, so does still have some time. But stop loss is going to be a daily close below 462, and then my take profit levels are probably going to be up to 468/470. Yeah, that's crazy. I still say that's crazy.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning, Ben. How we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
Good.
Kinda nice trade off to open, but kinda just waiting now. So,
Oh, nice. Yeah, I see. Well done.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I was getting caught up with everything here in the group. Had to do some quick things this morning before I hopped on.
Yeah, no worries. Holding it down here.
And looked at Q's and all right. So I'm still holding that JP Morgan runner. As long as we get 30-minute candle close below 209.40, which was the trigger, I'm uh, I'm still gonna hold this runner. If we do close above it, then I'll cut it. But we had some decent profits before close yesterday. All right, QQQ is approaching one of our imbalances that was put in uh, back June 5th, which 50% mark of this imbalance sits at about 460.15. Looks like we're actually reacting to a 460.60 level right now, which is nice to see. Very elevated premiums today on Qs, sitting at about 45% IV. Right, so we already blew through our first imbalance here. Our next one is at 459.25, and then we have another one right next to it at 458.60. Looks like Q's is still finding a lot of selling.
There's a big flush coming in here. We did get that break below overnight lows. Yeah, a lot of individual selling. Oh,
And I want to watch the reaction on the lower imbalance, which again sits at about 458.60 midpoint. We're at that midpoint area here. Still seeing a lot of puts on the ask. I'm not a big fan of seeing this as we're still pushing down.